Hello, and welcome to the Taco Cast. I'm Crystal, and Will is not with me. So today I'm going to be doing our podcast. For you. I am wearing a hat today because my forehead has the luminosity of the sun, and I can't seem to get the lighting in here to do anything that isn't just glaring off my forehead, and I refuse to wear face makeup because that's a bunch of bullshit, and I gave that up in my 30s. So, moving on. What are we going to talk about today? I haven't prepared anything at all. I was planning on sitting around in my pajamas all day long, but my plans were destroyed, as you can tell by the state of my shirt. I have been fairly active today, significantly more active than I wanted to be. We were moving stuff around. More specifically, Bill was moving stuff around. I was helping, and I am now covered in lint. And because I'm angry at the quality of the day that I've had, I'm not changing. This is it. This is what you get. So, what are we going to do today's podcast on? Again, I'm not prepared. I had some ideas beforehand. I was going to talk to Bill about some stuff, and he didn't. One thing that's probably in a lot of people's minds is Trump in the hospital with corona, which, that's a bad look, isn't it? So, for those of you who don't know, we're kind of surrounded by people who believe all of the tweets and whatnot that coronavirus is fake, it's not real, it's a liberal plot, or it's a Russian plot, or it's a Chinese plot. It's definitely a plot by somebody. Whether or not it actually exists depends on who you're talking to, but it's definitely a plot. Definitely won't kill anybody. It's a huge exaggeration, blah, 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 blah. So, we are right in smack dab in the middle of that, but now he's in the hospital with COVID, so you don't know what's going to happen here. Are people still going to hold to the "it's a hoax" line? Are they gonna adjust to that somehow? I'm not sure how they're gonna work that into the conspiracy theories. But I'm excited to find out. Once again, there's 3 different cameras. I'm going to try and focus on this one, but anyway, so super excited to find out what kind of hoax this is. But what does that mean for the U.S.? Honestly, probably nothing. It's not like he still can't get what little amount of work that needs to be done from the hospital. However, there's a significant number of people who are concerned on the actually very real chance that it may be fatal because he is in that risk group. He's in multiple risk groups: pre-existing conditions, bad health, overweight, older. So what if it's fatal? What happens? Well, then Mike Pence will become president. In the interim, what does that mean? A lot of people are really, really worried about that. To be fair, it doesn't really mean much. There's not much he can do. We're right on the cusp of the election. Somebody who becomes president right before the election, they're not going to do much. So, as much as a Trump presidency, in my personal opinion, would be horrific, not much is going to change on that front. So, where does that leave everybody else? Globally, I've checked in with a couple of friends of mine. Granted, this isn't like a huge scientific poll that I've done. This is really more, like a text message, like, hey, let's chat. So please don't come at me wanting to see my means and method, because it was literally just me messaging people and talking to them. So, anyways, from the couple of people that I've talked to, they're kind of on the edge of their seat, looking to see what happens. But as far as impact-wise, again, it's not going to be very much. We're close to the election. So, at this point in time, the only potential impact it's going to have is whether or not it's going to sway the election. Will it? I mean, people are debating. Will and I have been debating about that. I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. I feel like people are going to vote the way they were going to vote originally anyways. I mean, I know I personally, if I was going to vote for one person and then someone else got sick, be like, oh, that sucks. Just not going to change how I vote. And, you know, if I like you, I might send you a get well card, but that's going to be about it. So, will it sway voters away? Maybe. There's a school of thought that thinks that people might not vote for him if they see him as physically weak. I don't know a lot of people like that, but from what I've been reading, maybe. Kind of excited to see how that goes. Hopefully Bill's going to edit this out, because there's like some really big pauses where I'm just like thinking. Anyways, so that's that. What else are we going to do? What else do you guys want to talk about, huh? What should we chat about? Do we want to keep talking about Trump in the hospital? Or, you know, do we want to talk about the state of healthcare globally, where the United States spends more on healthcare than pretty much any other industrialized country and gets less for their return? We could talk about that. Actually, I think I just did. I don't know what to do. Legitimately, you know, without somebody else to talk to, I just kind of feel like I'm rambling. Like this is just the on-camera version of me at home when everybody else is out grocery shopping, and I'm sitting around in my scrungy clothes and just downing the coffee, going, let's talk about spiders. Okay. Well, let's bring it back to COVID, shall we? So, COVID. Is it going away? Probably not. As we've discussed before on this channel, COVID is one of the organisms, one of the viruses. There's debate about whether or not they actually 100% count as an organism. One of the viruses that cause colds, rhinoviruses, coronaviruses. I think there's like 2 or 3 other ones. Anyways, and they come and they go every season. Typically you get one, you get the sniffles for a while. This one seems to be having some additional effects. University of Jerusalem discovered that it affects a person's ability to clot by making them more prone to clotting. I believe it was the research that came out of University of Jerusalem, I'm not 100%, that expanded on that and showed that the issues that people are having in their lungs and other tissues is actually because of microclots caused by this. There's been some research on how to prevent that, how to detect that, what kinds of people are prone to that clotting, what kind of medications can be used to prevent it. There was some research going on about a uric acid drug, something that's used for gout, and about its potential to affect that. Bringing this back around to what I was rambling about beforehand about Trump being in the hospital, the majority of the people in this country do not have the ability to be airlifted to a top-notch hospital with an access to experimental treatments and high-class providers. And honestly, I think that's shit. I think part of the reason why there's such disparity in care in this country is the fact that the people that are our leaders are not subject to that same standard of care. If they were, I bet it would be a whole lot better. And I personally find it horribly irresponsible that so many people are put in danger with this constant rhetoric and undermining of just how bad this disease can be, encouraging people to go without masks, making fun of people who are wearing masks, and the like, when the person making those comments has access to the kind of care that the rest of us can only dream about. Because the people who are going to be harmed by that rhetoric, well, they're me and you. They're our friends, our family, our parents. I guarantee you, everybody knows at least one person who is in the risk group. At least one. And if you don't, it's you. And the fact that these people are being put at risk is, honestly, it's upsetting. Life itself carries inherent risk. It just does. You can never mitigate for all risks. And a life that did mitigate for all risks would be boring. It would not necessarily be a life worth living. But we as a society, we can take measures. We can help protect those who are most vulnerable. And if we're not protecting those who are most vulnerable, then what kind of society are we? What kind of society does not take measures to protect those who can't protect themselves? And a shitty one, I would say. Now, I've noticed a lot of selfishness amongst people lately. Horrible behavior. And I've noticed it in a couple of different venues, but man, people who don't want to wear a face mask into a Chuck E. Cheese, jeez, those are the worst kind of people. I'm kidding about a Chuck E. Cheese. God, I hope nobody goes, don't go to a Chuck E. Cheese. Even without Corona, don't go to those things are just, man, don't go to the ball pit. It's awful. You're going to pull your kids out of there. Who knows what they got into. You hope that's cheese. It's probably not cheese. I'm probably going to get sued by Chuck E. Cheese now, but, whatever. This is a very depressing episode of this podcast. This is Bill should not send me out here on my own, unless I've had, some wine on board, and not just coffee. So, yes, we moved a fridge today. We bought a fridge. We bought a fridge and a freezer for the garage. So, I bought them a while back for fairly cheap. A pretty good deal. Wow, I don't know where I was going with that. Thought you guys cared about my fridge. Totally screwed that up. Oopsie. Alright, there we go. Are we still recording? We're still recording? Yeah, we're still recording. Okay. So there's going to be a cut in here. It's because we're recording. I went to go find something for you guys and it stopped recording. And now Bill's going to have to splice all kinds of stuff together. Hopefully he can. He might not be able to. No! Okay, so I have put together, there will be a link, the one I want you to click. Man, I'm just covered in lint everywhere. Anyways, the one I want you to click is for Bat Week, October 24th, not 34th, through 31st of this year is Bat Week. This is National Bat Month, a whole month dedicated to a celebration of bats. Bats are important. They're not just important because, it's Halloween and, spooky, scary vampires and all of that. Bats are important pollinators. They pollinate a variety of fruits. They plants, including the agave. No bats, no tequila. Bats are also insectivores. Well, many species of bat are insectivores. They are important for the controlling of insect populations. The little brown bat can eat, I think it's 3 times their weight. Let's look that up. Little brown bat can eat half of its body weight each night. Boom. Half of its body weight. That's how many bugs it's eating every single night. You hate mosquitoes? Give a bat a hug. Don't give a bat a hug. They're wild animals. It might bite you. You get sick. Speaking of, so there's that huge misconception about bats and rabies and So bats are a reservoir for rabies. However, most bats don't carry it. Prevalence of rabies in bat populations is less than 1%. Also, a little known fact, researchers suspect that rhabdoviruses actually developed in domestic dogs and were spread from domestic dogs to wild populations. So, hate rabies? It's our fault. Yeah. How do you think the bats feel about that? Anyways, here in the United States, we have issues with something called white nose syndrome. It's a fungus that affects bats populations and has been leading to a decline in bats. We've had some good strides on white nose, including some species of bat who seem to be not necessarily resistant, but they are seeming to withstand the infection. They believe it's being brought from colony to colony from spelunkers, and they're advising people to, first off, don't go into caves bat caves, and if you do, please thoroughly clean your equipment before heading out to a new cave. That being said, God, bats are beautiful and adorable, and how would you not want to go see them? Texas has one of the largest colonies of bats. I'm going to pull that information up for you guys, too. Bracken Cave, the largest colony, not just one of, the largest colony of bats in the world. 20 million Mexican freetails, and that means their tail is not connected to their wing. Mexican freetails live in Bracken Cave over the summer, and you can watch them emerge at dusk, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. Eventually I will make the pilgrimage to Bracken Cave to watch the sky puppies fly. We've actually been to a bat walk in Seattle when Taka was tiny. We got him a little bat costume, and we went to go watch the bats emerge. I chased my son around, and I only got to see one bat because Taka was fast, very fast, and I didn't get to see very many bats. But other than that, it was kind of fun. I screwed up my shoulder sleeping, which is a thing that happens when you hit 40. Apparently, you just sleep weird, and then you're broken for life. It was 3 years ago. My shoulder's still not the same again, and literally all I did was wake up. It's a story I've had to tell to my physical therapist. I'm like, so what did you do? I woke up in the morning. Yeah, but what did you do? I woke up and I couldn't move my arm. What did you do the day before? I did nothing. I was reading in the car while my mom drove the family to Seattle. Then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then my arm wouldn't move. And then I had to chase a toddler. Then I came home and fix it. Yeah, no. Anyway, yeah, that's the thing that happens once you reach 40. You sleep weird, and then everything's broken. You make snap, crackle, pop noises when you get up in the morning, or all day as you're navigating throughout the day. So something for you younger folks to look forward to. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Bat Month. More links in the description for you to click that I've just found for Will, so that he has to edit all these together, because I'm sure he'll hate me. Bat Conservation, batcon.org. I am a member of Bat Conservation. I support their, I'm not a member. I don't go out and rescue bats, although I would love to. It's so fuzzy. So it's probably a good thing that I don't, because I would just squee over the bats and pet them, and the bat would be like, just give me some fruit. Anyway, so I've put up a link to batcon.org for those of you who may want to go watch bats emerge. Global bat viewing sites globally. Here's the thing. You're not going to get COVID from bats. Bats can carry COVID. It's true. But you're not if you go and watch them, you're not gonna get COVID. Don't lick a bat, and you'll be fine. Don't eat a bat. Don't lick a bat. You'll be good. I'm just really scatterbrained today. I can't even come up with like I've got a million thoughts, and they're all just kind of, it's like a herding cats over here and over there, and bats and just. I'm gonna call this to a close. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for putting up with me while I rambled about President Trump, COVID, and bats. And I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you guys have a great week. I look forward to seeing you next week. And I would promise you that I would put something more comprehensive and cohesive together. But we all know it would be a lie. Yeah. So anyways, y'all have a great day. And I will see you next week. You stay safe out there.